So how do you buy and afford a second home? It's probably a lot easier than you think it is. So the first step in this process is talk to a lender. Avoid the big banks, JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, all of these. Go with a small mortgage broker who's going to be more responsive, more nimble, more fast, and more precise information for you. Why talk to the lender first? Well, they're going to talk to you how much you can afford, what sales price you should be aiming for, and what your down payment is probably going to look like. If you don't know a top lender, check my comments below for contact information for one of the best in the country. So when you're buying a second home, what is your minimum down payment going to be? The majority of people buying a secondary home, their minimum down payment is going to be 10% of the purchase price. There's a very small category of people who are going to have to pay 20% down if the property is going to be used exclusively for investment purposes, like an Airbnb or a long-term lease. Otherwise, if it's a mixed use, your minimum down payment is most likely going to be 10% of the purchase price. Next, after you've talked to your lender, determine the sales price of the home for which you can qualify, and then contact an expert local real estate advisor to help you in your home search. I want to emphasize why it's important to have a local agent to the real estate market where you're going to be buying the home. Dragging in a real estate agent from another area is like asking a foot doctor to perform surgery on your brain. It's not going to work out very well. Real estate is hyper-local. It's very important to have an agent that's in that area that knows the market, knows the pricing, and knows all the nuance of that real estate market. And then once you're in touch with your expert local agent, they're going to guide you to the right home. So how do you afford a second home? Well, it's a lot easier than most people think. Let someone else pay your mortgage. I'll say that again. Let someone else pay your mortgage by renting it. There are two basic ways you can rent your property. You can rent it through a long-term lease where you have a tenant for a year or 2 or 3 years at a time, or you can rent it out as a short-term rental. Under either circumstance, someone else is paying your mortgage, so you are not paying it monthly. And if it's going well, you're actually going to make a profit on top of that. Short-term rentals are generally going to give you greater income, but they're only going to work well in either populated areas like big cities, New York, DC, Richmond, etc., or if you're in a common vacation spot like a lake, a beach, a ski resort, etc. Those are the high-demand booking areas for short-term rentals. Otherwise, you can lease it in a long-term capacity. If you own and rent your secondary home, you'll also enjoy other financial benefits, like big tax deductions that can decrease your tax liability, and the value of your home would generally be appreciating. It'll be increasing in value year after year after year. Buying and owning a secondary home is a lot easier than most people think. My name is Grayson Hoffman. I'm a full-time agent with the Ashley Hoffman Group at Lake Anna, Virginia. I'd love to talk to you about your real estate goals.